All right.
Stay live. That's a whole different story, but
This
I'm also
live
going to record it just in
okay.
case.
Yes, that's good. Okay. So we'll start at 8:30.
All right.
Just
So
get
the
this
meeting's
stuff
now
together.
streaming
Okay.
and it's recording.
Excellent.
So, and I'm going to go ahead and share the video.
Okay.
Can you verify it's up on the Baltimore City page?
Let me check here. Okay.
Who is that playing, by the way? Is that a specific artist or just a general Pandora?
It's a general. It's not copyrighted. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I wanted to find something, but it's kind of supposed to be like a hip hop, a mellow vibe.
Where did you get it?
I got it off of Spotify.
No way.
Yeah, I can tell you. It's called, the artist. Yeah, its artist is Joakim Karu. So why can't
it's hard to find stuff that's not copyrighted.
I know. That's why when I found this, I was like, "This is nice."
Man, I'm telling you, I'm just chill. Like I was kind of irritated after dropping my pie, but now I'm feeling kind of chill. I'm good now.
I am still irritated for you about that pie because I love food. So when you said that hurt me.
All right.
Okay, let me see here. I don't see.
Hey guys, I see we have a few people joining.
Oh, excellent. We are going to get started in 2 minutes. I don't see it on the city page, the Baltimore City.
You might need to go and approve it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. We can.
Here, I'll check. Sometimes it's.
Okay.
So sometimes in order to cross post, you might need to go to the creator studio.
Mm-hmm.
And that normally will. There's like a place where whenever you get a cross post, you have to like approve it. Giovanni probably knows.
Yeah. Well, we can always repost it, so that's fine.
Okay. I've confirmed it's up on Frederick Douglass page. But
excellent. Okay. And we're recording.
And if you want, you can share it. You can share it to Baltimore City if you want.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. All right. So we're going to begin. Today is Thursday, June 18th, and welcome to 30 at 8:30, a show where we get to know various individuals, have candid discussion, and highlight their reasons for supporting the Republican Party. I'm your host, KJ, and tonight's guest is Torrey Snow. Welcome,
hey,
Torrey.
How's it going, man? I am really glad to be here. Thanks so much, KJ.
Yes, excellent. We're so happy. I'm so happy to have you. So how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm a little grumpy, as I shared. I dropped a perfectly good pie. It was great. You ever make something and it just feels just right, and I dropped it right all over the oven. So I'm getting over that. But your music helped, so I'm in a better mood.
Good. Good. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. So we'll start out by, if you could, I know you are known throughout Maryland, but if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, those who don't know you. Please just tell us a bit about yourself.
Sure. So I am Torrey Snow. I am the president of the Frederick Douglass Foundation of Maryland. I have been making a ruckus for several years. Just got involved with the Republican Party maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It culminated into me actually running for the county council in my county. I learned a lot from that experience, and a lot of doors opened up as a result of that. I currently am a fill-in host on WBAL. And trying to just get the issues out there. I'm a strong advocate for strong communities, and specifically engaging on areas that make our community stronger. So that's just a little bit about me. You might see me here and there, but I'm pretty vocal about improving the Republican Party platform here in the state of Maryland.
Excellent. Okay. And as far as like Maryland, where are you from? Are you originally from Maryland, or
No,
where
I'm from Idaho,
mhm.
Boise,
Oh,
Idaho.
okay.
So Ray, that was how I met Ray. That was the main reason I returned Ray's call, was he called me
Mhm.
from a 208 number, and I said, that's a Boise number. So I
Wow,
would have
okay.
eventually called him anyway. But no, I was raised in Idaho. I took a job. My first job out of college was here in Maryland, and I've been here ever since about 2006.
Okay. Wow. So Baltimore and well, Maryland and Idaho seem like worlds apart. Is it
Night
really
and
like that?
day.
It is.
It
Okay.
took me about 4 years just to get used to the wall-to-wall pavement. Like on the West
Oh,
Coast, you drive from city to city. Like you drive like 10 or 15 minutes to another city. Here you can drive through 4 cities and not even know it, so on the same
right.
road. So yeah, it took me a while. But I feel like I'm a Marylander now. I feel like I've
Oh, good.
got my roots
Oh,
here.
okay. Okay. And then I will always ask people like, what's the good thing to eat from different locations, different states. So what's something? Is it like potatoes in Idaho? That's what I think
Yes.
about when I hear.
I was
When
just
I
gonna say
hear
potatoes. I mean,
so potato
that's all we're
salad.
famous for. But you can do an awful
Okay.
lot with potatoes, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
can
Oh
do it
yeah.
right. You can I can do some mean stuff with a potato.
Okay. Okay. And then and so Frederick Douglass Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about the Frederick Douglass Foundation of Maryland?
So
What made
yeah,
you start that?
so the Frederick Douglass Foundation is a national organization, and it's an
Okay.
educational organization. Now, you will hear a few terms tossed around in our networks. You'll hear the Frederick Douglass Foundation, and you'll hear the Douglass Leadership Institute. There are related organizations. We work together a lot. The Douglass
Mhm.
Leadership Institute is more community focused. We try to leverage the life and practices of Frederick Douglass and try to model the values that he held as priority in engaging the community. The Douglass Leadership Institute focuses more on the community. The Frederick Douglass Foundation tries to take those values and implement them in politics. So we engage, we
Okay.
support candidates, we try hard to help people focus on the things that we feel are important to the Black community, specifically strengthening family units, supporting access to quality education, encouraging healthy economic opportunity, and supporting fair criminal justice reform. So all of these elements go into our footprint in the state of Maryland as we try to impact policy and support potential policymakers that follow those values.
Excellent. Okay. Wow. And that's important, especially something that's really something that's needed right now in this climate. Everything that you mentioned is something that's very needed right now. So any way we can support, anything I can do to support that, please. We'll talk about that later in the program, but definitely, I support something like that. So. What we'll do now is move into kind of a get to know you segment. It's
Oh
a
boy.
fun game.
Yeah, I was giving Giovanni a hard time about this last week. Now it's my turn. So
I know. I saw
I
that.
studied though, so hopefully you don't switch it
Oh,
up and change the questions on me.
it is very. I have switched it up, of course.
Uh-oh.
So it's fun game. As you know, this or
Mhm.
that. So basically, I will give you two options, and you choose your preference.
All right.
Okay, so I'll kind of run through it. So you want to just choose the preference or the option that is the first thing that comes to your mind.
Right. I
Okay.
can't take time to think about it, right? That's the
Right,
point.
right. Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's do it.
Okay, so we'll start with crabs or steamed shrimp.
Crabs.
Okay. Phone call or text.
Text.
Electoral college or popular vote.
Electoral college.
Okay.
That has a long
iOS.
answer.
Okay. iOS or Android.
Android. Oh my goodness. Whoa.
Oh
No
no.
iOS. Oh, tell me
Cut
you're
the
not an Apple
tape.
person.
Cut the video. This is over. Interview's
I thought we
done.
could work together here.
Okay. All right. Working alone or working in a team?
Ooh, working in a team.
Okay. Football or basketball?
Football.
Money or free time?
Ooh, free time.
Globalization or protectionism?
Protectionism. Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of balance there, but yeah, I would lean in favor of protectionism.
Okay. So this is geared towards voting. Required photo ID or just show up?
Ooh, just show up.
Okay. And the last one, W.E.B. Du Bois or Booker T. Washington?
Booker T. Washington.
Okay. Okay.
I think I did all right for the most part. I think a
Yeah,
couple
you
of
did.
answers, people are going to be like, what? But yeah. I surprised a few
No.
of you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did surprise me, especially on that iOS Android. We're gonna have to have a long conversation after this. You probably like the what was it? Blueberry? No, the Burberries. Was it Burberry? The what was the
Blueberry. No, Blackberry.
Blackberry.
Yeah.
Were you a Blackberry person?
I was not. No, I didn't get a
Oh,
smartphone
okay.
until like the Samsung Galaxy S3 or something.
Okay. I find a lot
I
of
was late
times
to the
people
game.
who are Android really like used to like the Blackberry. They were like Blackberry.
Well, I'm a tech
people,
person, so you'll find that people that
okay.
are technically inclined tend to
Right.
lean towards Android.
Android. That's true. All right. So next, we're going to move on into our segment of Why Are You a Republican? So as we know, this is kind of like we're kicking off Juneteenth. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. And first, I'd like for you to kind of go into, for those who don't know, what Juneteenth is. I know it feels like to me, this year is there's been a lot more of acknowledging and celebrating the holiday. My company did for the first time made it an annual holiday, so we're off on Friday, and they just announced it this week. So it's just like it seems like it's much larger than it has been in previous years. So can you kind of talk about Juneteenth
Sure.
for people who don't know?
Yeah. So, and I'm by no means am I the expert. We used to do Juneteenth celebrations back in Idaho, believe it or not, and that was actually
wow.
my first exposure. We had a very strong NAACP branch, and all 14 Black people gathered from the town to celebrate Juneteenth. No, but no, I mean, so Juneteenth is like the Independence Day for slaves, and unfortunately, it's one of those sad stories that it's kind of been overwritten in history books. It was actually the day that's celebrated when troops went to a town in Texas. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think it was
Galveston. Yeah, starts with a G.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should have all the stuff memorized. I don't, but I know the idea is that Union troops finally came and said that slaves no longer exist. You guys are employers. You guys are employees. And that was the day that people like suddenly realized, wow, like we're actually free. This is a legitimate thing. And so it turned into like a celebration as people tried to build their own identity away from the practices of the slaves and the slave holders and the plantations. And it developed into like this annual celebration in which they had music. They did it. We're not doing it the way they used to do it, but they used to have like sermons all day long and hour-long prayer meetings, and just it was a think about Thanksgiving. It's really a Thanksgiving from the slaves' perspective, and so it really I never learned about it in school. Not a lot of people
did I
learn about it in school. It's actually, but it was actually really prominent among the community, but then it kind of died out. So there's an interesting history there. But I think that we have a lot to gain from resurrecting that sense of autonomy and empowerment that came with celebrating a holiday like Juneteenth.
I agree. And I guess some people look at it on two different spectrums, where you have it where you talk about slavery and things like that. But I kind of look up at it, like you said, like a celebration of freedom, of not so much looking at it as the slave or as slavery, which is part of our history, but taking it to the context of we're free, where we have this freedom. It's a celebration, and that's what I kind of wanted to talk about this evening as far as the Republican Party, because we have the media and some stereotypes that Republicans are racist, and so first, why did you become a Republican?
So I actually was registered independent. The simple answer is I became a Republican because Ben Carson ran for president.
Okay.
And I registered a Republican just to help, so I could vote for him in the primary, because I was so passionate about his message. He brought that badly needed statesmanship to the political arena. And even though he wasn't really a politician necessarily, I was just enthralled by his message. So I registered as a Republican. Part of that process, it connected me with other Republicans in the Maryland area. And even though I was a little bit frustrated by what was happening at the higher levels, the national level, and even to some degree, I was a little bit frustrated at what I was seeing from the state level party, I began to connect with individuals within Maryland, and I began to meet the different candidates. And especially in Anne Arundel County has some of the best Republicans in the state of Maryland. And that's my own personal bias, but like I would go and I would meet with them, and I would, they would talk with me. And most importantly, they were interested in learning about what I had to bring to the table. And they were interested in finding ways to engage in some of our minority communities. And then when I would tell them, they didn't just like ignore it, they would like support it with action, and they would donate and they would support and come to our events and everything. And so I believe in the Republican Party. I believe in the mission of the Republican Party. And I am encouraged that, especially at the grassroots level, people really want to see a Republican Party that engages the way that it has historically engaged.
I agree. And that is sometimes surprising to people that are not Republicans. When I mentioned that same thing that happened to me, is where when you do go to Republican events or you meet Republican candidates, they are engaging and they want to help. And so a lot of people don't realize that that's the kind of reception that we get as Black Republicans too, because some people say, "Oh yeah, they talk to what is it racist?" They wrote having KK flags and all this type of stuff, and no, it's not like that at all. I was explaining to some friends when I went to my first Trump rally, actually here in Baltimore. People were so kind, and we were hugging, and people were praying. I had someone pray with me, and so and it was very diverse, and so that's something that is not a narrative that's not shown in the mainstream media. So I think it's very important to talk about that. And then what is your thoughts on it as far as Juneteenth, as far as like the Republican platform, Republican ideology in the sense of Juneteenth?
So yeah, that's a really good question. I think that when we break down the Republican ideology, it comes down to Republicans believe that you can make the best decisions with your own resources, and we want to give you the flexibility to do that. There's risks that come with it, but there's also rewards that come with it. Juneteenth is like the ultimate expression of, we don't need you, we can do this ourselves. Like that was the whole message of Juneteenth, is we can have our own celebrations. We don't need your help to put together these festivals. We don't need your help to do many of these things. And it wasn't like a nasty, like, we don't want anything to do. It was the community demonstrating the strength and quality of the networks they were able to build. And so to me, they're just like parallel paths, in that the Republican Party, by and large, from a platform perspective, actively works to encourage people to carve their own destiny. It encourages people to take hold of their own future and not wait for someone else to do it. Let's do it ourselves. Let's find a way to do it. Let's find a way to build the communities up, and not force the government to do everything. There's some relationships that can exist, but by and large, the party seems to encourage people to pursue an idea of personal responsibility. And to me, that's the essence of Juneteenth. Leaving that master-slave relationship behind and becoming an independent, autonomous community.
Absolutely. And without government control. And again, that's something that, Democrats, they want the government to be this all-encompassing thing that, feeds you, clothes you, tells you, what religion to practice or not practice. And that's what I like about the Republican Party. And again, like you said, that was such a great example and parallel with Juneteenth and the platform of the Republican Party. It's that individuality and freedom to do as I want. I'm free to use my money the way I want.
Yep.
Free to send my child to the school I want to send them to. And so I just wish that was put out in the media a lot more than it is.
Well, if I can
Mhm.
comment on that really quick,
Yes.
I just want to say that uh, Frederick Douglass understood something that I think many people today would benefit from. And in Frederick Douglass' case, he would say, we can't wait on other people to carry our message for us. We have to carry the message ourselves, which is why I'm very enthusiastic about you using your platform and working with the Baltimore City Republican Party. Right now, we are doing what the media is not going to do for us. To me, that's the heart of Juneteenth. You know,
Mhm.
no one's going to invite us to come on CNN and talk. We're going to have our own live stream, or we're going to have hundreds of people watch it, and they're going to engage, and they're going to find ways to connect. That is like, I think we are Juneteenth right now. We are taking those steps in getting our own voices out there. So I just want to encourage you, just like Frederick Douglass said, he was frustrated by the lack of good press, so he started a newspaper, the North Star, and it was hard. It didn't grow overnight, but that's the type of spirit that we need as we try to get a positive message out about our communities.
Excellent. Thank you. Yes. And thank you for coming on here and sharing this and this platform with me. And can you talk a little bit more about the organization, what you have going on? Because I know you have a lot of events going on this week to celebrate Juneteenth.
Yeah, I bit off quite a bit this week, but I'm gonna. So I am so. I know that here in Maryland, there's such an appetite for people to kind of engage and understand the perspectives that we bring to the table, and because the media hasn't done a very good job of portraying healthy images of Black Americans, in my opinion. I think they've been getting better recently, but you know, there's still a lot of stereotypes that people buy into. We decided as the foundation to just pull out all the stops, and we're just gonna like just beat this idea to death, in that we're going to try to give people opportunities to learn about Frederick Douglass, learn about our history, learn
Mhm.
about Juneteenth, and really just if people can just get a glimpse of the passion that you and I have for our communities, it'll all be worth it. So tonight is part of that process. I'm having a conversation with you and inviting the broader Maryland community to join in on the enthusiasm that you and I have for our communities. Tomorrow, we actually have two events. I only published the one. We just added another one. We are going to have leaders from Maryland,
Mhm.
many of them, some of the Black Republicans that you've seen in some of our other forums, and we're just going to do a presentation. We're going to share some of the music that you and I may have heard, but other people, because that's not the background, may not be familiar with why "Let Every Voice Shall Sing" is important, and why
Mm.
"We Shall Overcome" is important. So we're going to have that discussion. We're going to expose people to that. We're going to read Frederick Douglass writings, and just let people understand and savor the rich history that they have right here in their own state. Right after that, and that's going to be at 7 o'clock tomorrow on this, the Frederick Douglass Foundation is going to be streaming that. We're going to try to stream it, and then we'll also post the video. But our
Okay.
national organization, we're bringing in state chapter leaders from across the country. We're going to have some live musicians.
Oh,
We're going
wow.
to have Clarence Henderson, who was part of the Greensboro group that started the civil rights movement. We're going to have just an hour of just encouragement as we celebrate our rich history. And that's going to happen Friday night with
Friday
two
night.
events, one at 7, one at 8:30. So that's what the Frederick Douglass Foundation is doing. We had originally planned a trip to Baltimore City, come see you guys and hang out with you
Okay.
all in Baltimore City. The weather looks horrible for Saturday,
Okay.
thunderstorms and everything. So I believe, unless the forecast changes, we're going to shift that out a week. But there are
Mhm.
3 candidates in Baltimore City that have volunteered to welcome people into their communities and just let people see for themselves the passion. It's not a petting zoo, right? We're not on a tour to like gawk at things. We want everyone to understand why these races are so important to us. So the Frederick
Yes.
Douglass Foundation is engaging to try to get people more invested in Baltimore City so that they'll consider investing their time, energy, and resources into helping us pick up a few seats in the city council. So that's our Juneteenth effort, and we're going to
Mhm.
continue to push, and we're going to build as much momentum as we can off of that.
Excellent. Well, like you said, it's going to be busy. Action packs.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, but that's excellent. I can't think of a better way to celebrate Juneteenth. than what you're doing and what people are doing as far as just coming together and celebrating the spirit of Juneteenth and it really makes me smile when I hear all the things that you're talking about. It really does. And I hope I can't wait to be a part of it. So
Yes, I got a
yes,
spot for you. I'll talk to you more about it.
yes, yeah. So I can't wait. Anything I can do to help is definitely something I want to do. So, okay. Well, we are wrapping it up. So, can you give us your Facebook page or the federation's webpage? Anything you want to share with the audience so
Yes.
they know where to find? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love for people to connect with the Frederick Douglass Foundation. I think that everyone should be a member of the Frederick Douglass Foundation, and you can join. So there's a website out there called
Okay.
fdfnational.org. It's the website's a little bit outdated, but don't be scared. We know about it. We're still working on getting that updated a little bit. But there's a membership page on there. I would encourage, especially people from Maryland, to join as a member. Annual membership dues are about $35, and whenever people invest in our efforts with their dues and things like that, it helps us get the message out. There's a lot of messages going out about social justice and systemic racism and things like that, and we're not decrying any of those messages necessarily, but we think that there's a better approach. And this is not a new conflict, right? This is the same conflict that you suggested, you alluded to, the W.E.B. Du Bois and Du Bois, sorry, and
Booker T.
Booker
Washington.
T. Washington. So this is not a new debate, right? About how
No.
we empower ourselves. Do we rely on the government to do it, or do we do it ourselves? It's not new. Frederick Douglass had the conflict, things like that. So we think that the Booker T side, the Frederick Douglass side, that is underrepresented. So we're working to push that message out. We've got some exciting national projects. So please consider becoming a member. Anyone can join. It's not only for Black people, it's for anyone who believes in our mission to join that. And it also allows me to keep up with many of you. Our Facebook page is Frederick Douglass Foundation of Maryland. You just type that. FDF Maryland is the tag, by the way. I don't have a Twitter yet. I'm working on that. I think there is one, but it's not active. And then there's a web page. I am redesigning the Maryland web page. I'm going to be launching that next week, but I had to prioritize a little bit. So all of those things are coming together. We're encouraging people to stay connected with us. The best way right now is just to subscribe to our Facebook page, click see first or get notifications so you see the updates. We keep good content through there. We elevate our candidates. We just did a project where we got headshots for the Baltimore City candidates, and
I saw that. Yeah.
So those are the types of things. It's not going to be another one. It's high quality, and I respect your time, and the fact that people subscribe to our page is something I'm going to respect. So I'm going to encourage everybody to subscribe to the Frederick Douglass Foundation of Maryland. You can also subscribe to my page, Torrey Snow, Citizen Statesman, as we kind of continue to build our message in the community.
All right. Well, we are getting close to 9 o'clock, so that is where we will wrap it up. Right. Our episode of 30 at 8:30. Like, share, and leave a comment on the Baltimore City GOP Facebook page. We'd love to get your feedback. Also, to support this show and other events, head over to www.baltimorecitygop.org and donate. That is also the spirit of Juneteenth. We support our own. We want to, if you feel something that you're seeing or something that you're hearing and it speaks to you and you want to assist in the message, please donate. We appreciate every contribution of your time or of your charity, your money. So please donate. Again, that's www.baltimorecitygop.org. So I hope to connect with you again next Thursday at the same time, Thursday at 8:30 for 30 minutes. Wishing you all warm days and starry nights. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.